Hello and welcome to another episode of Unboxing with Paul. And today, I'm very excited to bring you all TCL's ION X, TCL's latest budget smartphone. Let's take a look at it. This device was released back in January of this year, so I'm a bit late to the party, but that's okay. This is TCL's refresh to their budget lineup, as this phone retails for $119.99, which makes it even cheaper than the TCL 20XE. As always, TCL has nice packaging with some really glossy pictures, as well as a very sturdy box. In the box, we got a quick start guide, as well as terms and conditions. We also get a Type A to Type C USB cable. We also get a Type A 10-watt wall adapter. And what? This is the first time that I have seen a removable battery in a device since a flip phone. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever unboxed a phone with a removable battery again, except for the flip phone. This is history. This is huge. I did not see this. I did not read this in my dialogue. This is news. This is breaking news. This is huge. The fact that this device comes with a removable battery is like the biggest news ever. Holy cow. That completely changes everything. Okay? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put this aside for right now, which is, again, a complete revelation, which we were not aware of. Now, the device itself comes in at 174.4 grams, so about 17.6 grams lighter than the previous budget phone in this lineup, which was the TCL 20XE with 195 grams. And we do have a 6.0-inch 720 by 1440 IPS display, so about half an inch smaller than last year's 6.5 720 by 1600 display. And we do have 32 gigabytes of storage paired to 3 gigabytes of RAM, so just as much as storage and RAM as last year. And we also have a MediaTek 6762G Helio G25 processor with 4 of its cores clocked in at 1.5 gigahertz for efficiency, and then the remaining 4 cores clocked in at 2.0 gigahertz for those heavier, more power-intensive tasks. Now, if you look on the left side of the phone, we can see that there's a very plain look. There's not much going on. And if we look at the top of the device, we can see a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, as well as a pinhole microphone. And when we look over on the right side of the phone, we can see our volume up, volume down keys, as well as our volume keys, in addition to me driving up the wall, because every single time I'm trying to turn it up, I'm trying to turn it down, I wind up ending my phone call. I wind up shutting off my screen. I wind up editing screen recording. I wind up just not having a good time in general, because I can never tell what I'm pressing. If manufacturers could please go ahead and make either the volume sliders be a different texture, or the power be a different texture, or be on a different side, I would greatly appreciate that. And when we look over at the bottom, we appear to have dual speaker grills. However, upon further inspection, we only have a single downward firing speaker. Now, nestled in between those two, we have a 2.0 Type-C USB port that is going to be used for charging and data transfer. And when we look over at the rear device, we can see that we have what appears to be a carbon fiber or a pseudo carbon fiber lookalike back, which is very nice, as for the last few years we had a lot of those glossy shiny phones which are just disgusting to look at. While we're back here, we can look at our main lens, which is a 13 megapixel sensor with capacity to record up to 1080p video with 30 frames per second. And when we look at the front, besides our 6-inch 720 by 1440 IPS display, we can also notice that we have a 5 megapixel sensor up at the top, which is also going to allow us to shoot that same 1080p video at 30 frames per second. Inside, we do have dual band Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth 5.1, and of course 4G LTE, but that's about it, as this device does not feature 5G, it doesn't feature NFC or wireless charging for that matter. And again, I'm not sure how much of a revelation this is, that the fact that this phone comes with a completely removable battery, that is something that I'm trying to think. I think maybe LG K30? Like, it's been a while since we've been able to have removable batteries. Samsung Galaxy S7, S8? I'm gonna have to go back and double check, but again, it has been quite a while since we have been able to have a removable battery in a phone. Usually when we do have removable batteries nowadays, they are for the flip phones, you know, the phones that you give to your grandma, to your grandpa, because they need really, really large buttons to press. But we have that on a full feature smartphone. Now, mind you, quote unquote, it's not full featured, right? Doesn't have NFC, doesn't have 5G. I'm trying to think what else doesn't have. It doesn't have technically the latest Wi-Fi, doesn't have the latest Bluetooth, yada, yada, yada. It's not full featured, but it does 99% of the things that a full featured $1,000 smartphone would do with a removable battery. Which, yeah, I know you could argue, but Paul, removable batteries were phased out long ago, because non-removable batteries offer greater benefits. They offer increased capacity, they offer tailor-made fit, they offer greater waterproofing, longevity on the phone, just because it's a completely sealed system and you will not have to tear the phone apart. However, the importance of a removable battery cannot be overstated, just because of the fact that if something is going on, you could literally just go ahead and open the back and yank out the battery. You're not sitting there pressing buttons like an idiot. You're not sitting there waiting for continue holding for 3 more seconds to power off. You can go ahead and cut it off immediately, which is something that cannot be done with the majority of smartphones nowadays, as they do contain non-removable battery. Now, this may change the final score or the final rating that I give this phone, just because, again, the fact that we have a removable battery is something that I hadn't taken into account for so many years. I'm trying to think, maybe when was the last note? What was the last note that had a removable battery? People were so excited about it. People were ecstatic. People loved it. They would say, I can just pop a fresh battery in. I don't have to wait for my phone to charge. Removable batteries were really the best thing to come in regards to wireless cell phones, in regards to powering up very quickly. And of course, we can't forget about running our benchmark to be able to test our processor. Now, this is not Geekbench 5, which is what we're normally used to. This is Geekbench ML, which is a slightly different one. And we'll be right back with you guys as soon as this is over. And we are back. And as we can see, we got a 66 for our light CPU score. And if we can go down, we can see that, again, we confirm that we do in fact have 4 cores clocked in at 1.5 gigahertz for those lighter day-to-day tasks, and then the remaining 4 cores clocked in at 2.0 gigahertz for those heavier, more power-intensive tasks, as well as having the 3 gigabytes of RAM. And of course, it goes without saying that we can't unbox and show you this phone without showing you its actual camera capabilities. So then let's go ahead and shoot a selfie in, does it have portrait mode? Does it? No, it does not have portrait mode. Okay, it's all right. So then, cheese, that was a selfie on the TCL ION X front-facing camera. And then I guess we can do it this way. This is what video looks and sounds like on the selfie camera of the TCL ION X. It doesn't look good, guys. I mean, it's a camera. It does what it's supposed to, but it doesn't look really good at all. You guys let me know just how good or how bad this camera quality is down in the comments. And then this is what video looks and sounds like on the main shooting camera of the TCL ION X. You guys be the judge of how good or bad this camera looks, and from the preliminary results, it's not looking good. Go down in the comments, what are your thoughts on this phone? As again, the fact that this phone retails for $119.99 makes this a no-brainer, as this is one of the few phones, this is actually the only phone that I've been able to find so far in this price range with an octa-core processor, because everything else in this price range comes in at a quad-core, which that'd be the Wiko Voix, and the Samsung Galaxy A03, which is also quad core, but that comes in at 180. And as always, thanks for watching.